So that's what makes this system so sustainable, because we help the farmers because we increase fertility to the soil. The animals have a better welfare because of the shade and because of the systems, and the carbon dioxide that's absorbed by the plants and the trees, they helps with the greenhouse gases problem that we have today.
Hello everyone, this is Luis Ferreiro with the Dairy Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, and today we will be discussing a lot about how can we have crop-livestock integration systems. And to shed some light into this great topic, we have Professor Arthur Neto. Arthur is a professor at Federal University of Mato Grosso in Brazil and has a lot of experience with this integration between livestock and crop. And he will share a lot of great information with us today. But before we get into this topic, let's hear a little bit about Arthur. Arthur, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here and to talk a little bit about crop and livestock system that we are using in Brazil and we consider sustainable. Thank you for that. I'm an agronomist. I made my graduation at Mato Grosso Federal University, so I work where I studied, and I made my master's degree in animal science and PhD in tropical agriculture, and I did also part of my PhD in a doctoral stay in Sweden at the Swedish University of Agricultural Science. I stayed there for 6 months working with forage conservation.
Very nice. So you got probably very different perspectives from Brazil as well as the European group. But tell us a little bit about integration systems. What are those different types of integration that exist?
Okay, so here Mato Grosso is a very large state. We have almost 400 million hectares, so we're quite big. And at the north of Mato Grosso, we are close to the Amazon region. We are at the beginning of the Amazon region. And to us, it's very important to make sustainable crop systems, just like integrational systems. So we have mainly 4 different kinds of integrated systems. The first one is the crop-livestock integration systems, where we have crop and livestock production in the same area, but it varies with time. Then we have the livestock and forest system. We call it silvopastoral systems, where we have trees with grass, and our animals, they are created with the trees together with the trees. We have the crop and forest systems that usually it's we work with fruits trees with crops. And we have now the crop, livestock, forest integrational systems that we have first the crop, and then we have the tree cultivation, and after the crop we have the grass and the animal production with the trees. And so these are the 4 main integrated systems that we have here in Brazil.
And what makes those systems sustainable? How does that help to integrate all this important agricultural production with benefits to the environment?
Okay, so each of them have some kind of quality or some kind of characteristics that we say is sustainable. For example, the crop livestock systems that is the most used here. Our crop farmers, they like to use the livestock together in their areas because of the benefits that the grass can promote to the soil, especially with the increase in organic matter, mainly carbon. So we increase the carbon content to the soil. It helps first the farmer because it increases the chemical and the physics characteristics of the soil, especially increasing cationic exchange capacity. So it helps with the fertility of the soil, but also it helps with the environment, taking carbon from the air and putting in the soil. So that's the first thing we have. And then when we have, for example, the trees, the tree components, the silvestry, the silvicultural parts together, we will increase a lot more the carbon intake to the system, especially because we use eucalyptus or teak. There are trees with very high capacity of production, and they use a lot of carbon too. So when we have this kind of systems, the first thing that we have is the mitigation of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide. So that's the first thing. And when we have animals in this system, so ruminants in this system, and we know that we have the methane emission and the nitrogen oxide emission. With this mitigation of carbon dioxide, we have a carbon input and we have a positive balance to the greenhouse gases. So even we have here in Brazil some farmers, some farms that they have this certificate of carbon neutral livestock production, especially from Embrapa. And these systems, they are possible to give the certifies because of the trees that they have in the system. So that's what makes this system so sustainable, because we help the farmers, because we increase fertility to the soil. The animals have a better welfare because of the shade and because of the systems, and the carbon dioxide that's absorbed by the plants and the trees, they helps with the greenhouse gases problem that we have today.
Unlock whole herd performance with Zinpro Isofern. This one-of-a-kind technology enhances rumen performance and advances efficiency by directly feeding the rumen microbes. What's the result? Decreased dry matter intake, increased energy-corrected milk, better feed efficiency, and a herd that is better equipped to navigate the stress of lactation phases and seasonal change. Learn more at zinpro.com/isofern.
Absolutely. And for those at home that don't know Embrapa will be the equivalent to USDA here in the United States. So basically would be some sort of USDA certification that could happen. But Arthur, you mentioned some of the grasses that the farmers like having together with the crops. Tell us a little bit more about those grasses. What grasses are those? Is there any specific management that is required to establish those?
Yes, our farmers, they have to be careful with the grasses that they choose for these systems. And why is that? Because in our traditional livestock, we usually look for the grass with the highest production, especially that's of the genus. Today is Megathyrsus, but our farmers, they know at the Panicum, Panicum maximum. In US, I believe that they know it as Guinea grass. So the Guinea grass is one of the most with the highest production here, and so maybe our farmers can think, okay, so that's good. Let's use that in the integrated systems. However, they are not very easy to manage it, and when we dissect them, when we places the herbicide to kill the grass for the soybean cultivation after the grass, we need some kind of grass that have easy management. So usually we don't use Guinea grass, we use grasses of the genus Brachiaria. Today it's known as Urocloa. So especially palisade grass, espiatan grass, Payaguás grass, or the Congo grass. Here in Brazil we call Rusisiensis grass. Usually, Brachiaria is better for integrated systems than Panicum. Even that we have lower production, the management is easier, and we have to be careful with the next soybean cultivation. Otherwise, maybe we have some input of carbon and it is more sustainable, but if we prejudice the input of money or the commercial balance of the producer, of the farmer, because they have problems with the soybean cultivation, with the crop cultivation, then he will not use it anymore. So we have to have also environmental sustainability and economic health. And that's why we need to be careful. These grasses, Congo grass and palisade grass, especially Piatan, Payaguá grass, are the most used as this kind of systems.
No, very nice. A lot of new information. I'm sure people at home got really intrigued by all this very different scenarios, right? Of all the integration and how they interact with each other. So, Arthur, thank you very much for joining us today. And you at home, thank you so much for joining our podcast. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and I hope that this information can help or can be useful for a lot of people. Thank you very much.